This is wicked that he gave the interview to a white man. That's wicked,
bro.
Since a teenager, basketball.
Had never been on one of these hoes before.
Life as a whole, fucking dominating through and through. Just a kid from Akron, ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James.
Appreciate it. I appreciate
the man
it,
on the Lakers.
Definitely been seeing you guys up in here, man. So it's great to come here and be in the studio with you guys.
I told you as soon as you pulled up out there, I walked outside. Black SUV pulls up, turns around, your door opens, and literally go, holy shit, you're actually here. I thought this was all bullshit. Thank you for taking time and coming and visiting and chatting with us. We're obviously massive fans, dude. I'm 37 years old. Obviously, you're a little bit older than me, but watching you, because I have, because my demo in high school was the one that was watching you dominate. You actually came to Pittsburgh, beat the Pennsylvania All-Stars, which is your high school team. And the whole story. So I've followed your entire career. Massive fan of yours. Thank you for doing this.
I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me, man.
Okay, so let's talk about it. You're 40 years old now.
Yes, sir.
You've been in the league 22 years, longer than you were not in the league. You're in the league.
Right.
And
that shit's crazy in itself.
One of the best seasons you've ever had. Why is that, you think? Is it comfort? Is it what is it about this year?
I mean, I think obviously I've been in the game for a while, so I kind of know what to expect. And, obviously, one, you got to take care of your body, but more importantly, you got to take care of your mind. Being a professional athlete, if your mind is not as sharp as possible or as clear as possible, then you're not going to be able to perform at a high level. I think, seeing what our team is capable of doing before, the acquisition of
I'm going to send you what Bunk's response was to that Venom shit.
A good chance of making a good run. So I wanted to make sure that I was there. Not only physically, but also mentally and just
watching about to be like, I'm gonna play Venom now.
I felt pretty good throughout the whole season.
Nigga's gonna die one time and put down
2 weeks,
Tank forever.
2 weeks ago, but I'm back and I feel great.
We watched you do the sprint down the court thing. It was hilarious. Just like 40 years old, doing the same thing you're doing whenever you're 18, 20. And we'll talk about the Luka trade and we'll talk about the Lakers. But you talked about having clarity in mind and feeling good going into the season because you knew you could go on a run. There was that say what you spent like $1 million on your body or something.
Man, I don't know where the hell that shit came from.
Okay. That's a very fair assessment.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but I mean, listen, man, I do take care of my body, but I have no idea where the amount of money came from. But I do invest in my body for sure, trying to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Obviously, a lot of soft tissue work, a lot of massages, a lot of hyperbaric chambers, ice tubs, ice baths. Whatever I can do to continue to play at this level, man, I'm going to continue to do what I'm playing.
You've committed your entire life.
Like, he's pretty much committed his entire life to easing the pain on his body.
Is that literally drive is how much you love the sport, or why do you think at this age you're still going as hard as you
there's no way I'd be still playing, at this level, Pat, if I wasn't in love with it or didn't commit to it. I've had an opportunity to be able to be blessed with a crazy God-given talent. And a lot of us are, to be completely honest, when you find your niche in sports, there's a lot of people that's born with unbelievable talents, but it's literally the ones that like really commit to their craft and literally commit to the sport in general. Being able to pour yourself into it is what you're going to get out of it too. So I figured, when I knew I had a gift at like 13, 14, that I was out there on the court and I was running past guys.
Can you imagine?
Higher and making passes and doing things.
You're 13, 14 years old. You're like, damn,
15,
I really like that.
Year-olds wasn't doing.
That was me at video games.
Man, I was about to say, you probably relate, actually.
Yeah, dude.
Is me and my mom, we trying to figure it out, and I'm like, oh shit, if I commit to this, I can figure it out.
I couldn't commit though. That was my biggest
get out of the,
biggest hurdle in my life.
The inner city, and
I feel like for you,
for sure.
And your
when esports were on the rise, you were getting
I love the most.
Oh no, I feel like you were older.
Multiple times.
Yeah, I was already in my mid-20s by the time esports started coming up. When did esports come? 2018?
Yeah, like when they started, like when people started getting scholarships and
I was already well above. I was already well out of college at that point.
I've been a guy since you were 13. And
that's just sick.
Like I would have been the nigga to get an esports scholarship.
Man,
what's going on now?
It would have been going crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I could imagine if NIL was around when I was.
But I'm not mad that I didn't get the opportunity.
For sure.
I'm genuinely just happy that other people don't get to end up like, well, not get to end up like me, but like they don't have to they get to have that.
In the NBA,
Yeah.
obviously,
I guess.
chosen one. Here we go. This is it. You're in Cleveland.
I guess.
You immediately
I'm not even like no, because like I don't.
Yeah.
And as a
I was like struggling to how to phrase it because I didn't want to phrase it like negatively.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't like ending up like me isn't terrible. Like I don't lead a miserable life.
Yeah.
First game.
That's kind of what I was getting at
When
there.
I watched the replay, my first game on national television, it was like, will he be?
I'm not gonna lie. If you go back and look at this nigga's first game on national television, you can't see it.
Hey, shit about blurry as hell.
Bro, I remember I was listening to D Wade talk about his highlights. He was like, bro, I was looking at the highlights, I couldn't even see him.
Guys,
That shit was funny as hell.
Bro, it's crazy how long he's been in the league. That's why I think it's so weird when people discredit him for like the current era of basketball. He didn't start playing in this current era of 3-point basketball. When he started playing, shit was very different.
Like, what the hell is this? Why you guys are giving me this already? It's like I haven't done anything, and it's like it was a compliment to be able to be, you know, in the names of those guys, but it was also like super fucking scary and intimidating too. It was like I'm just a small kid from Akron, Ohio. I don't even know what.
Well, very tall, and at that point, I think you're a little bit more jacked at the time because the game called for it. But whenever you talk about it being a scary situation, you never let that image out publicly. And I think none of us ever saw you being scared. None of us ever saw you like kind of flapped at all. You were an unflappable force. And you've been in the public eye for so long. I think you would probably admit that you probably fucked some things up on the way, but you haven't really.
Right.
You're like and I said it earlier, child star, like most people, especially you talk about Section 8 housing, coming from nothing to everything, being in the public eye, at some point that is going to collapse a human.
Yeah, for sure.
For you, it feels like it hasn't. And there's been a lot of things said. There's been a lot of fires that you've been put into, either you walked into yourself or thrown into. Why do you think that is the case? Do you think it's because your mom? Do you think it's because what?
I mean, obviously, I give her a lot of credit for the way she raised me, the way she taught me, the things that she was able to instill in me. It was also me just looking at her, the way she moved and the way how determined she was to be able to make my life better, even with the circumstances that we were growing up in. So I give her a lot of credit. I had some little league coaches too that you know, taught me about not only just, you know, playing the game and teaching me the game of basketball, but also being a young man. You know,
this nigga really has not ever done an interview about his life before, has he?
Never.
To be completely honest, like I didn't
Not breaking everything down really.
Like I knew that the statistics for an inner city black kid to be able to be in a position that I was in, especially from my hometown, it never ever happens.
Never.
It never
works out either.
It never happens, and if it does happen, it never works out. You know, and you know, it was a. I mean, I want to throw him under the bus, but the only inspiration like we had was like Jerome Lane, the guy who like dunked and shattered the backboard that played for Pittsburgh. He was from Akron, Ohio. Like we saw that and we was like, oh shit, that's an inspiration. And then I went through high school, and all my boys know this too. Like I went through high school and we was playing against the inner city kids because we went to an all Catholic high school. And fucking Jerome Lang was like hating on us. I was like,
that's crazy.
Motherfucker, like in Akron hating on us, like going against us. And I'm like, oh shit, you was like our only inspiration. We like looked up to you, and I was like, you know what?
Nigga did not fuck with y'all.
Opportunity up, man. I get the opportunity to make it. I got to do what I have to do to put my city on, to represent my last name on my back, man, my family, my friends, and also like it's sport. You know, sport has given us so much. I mean, I look around here. I mean, fucking baseballs and NFL helmets and basketball jerseys and like
luchador masks.
Like seriously, like a putt thing. Like seriously, like it's given us so much. So like I couldn't mess the opportunity up.
Well, you've done. Hey, I think you figured it out. You've done good. Now we'll see what's left. You know, now the conversation is how many years is he going to play? You look like you could probably play forever. D-Bud has a question for you.
Facts, kind of on that note, and one of the things people got on you about was when you went to Miami. You made the decision to go to Miami. I know some great things behind that as well. Me, lifelong Miami Heat fan, I loved it. But what was it like coming down there, winning your first championship, and what was that kind of load lifted off your back? You talk about being amongst the one-name guys. Championships obviously got to come with that. So what was that like going down there and getting that done?
Yeah, I mean, listen, my aspiration was a lot bigger than just, you know, winning MVPs and, you know, being an all-star and, you know, whatever all the individual things is. Before I even got to the NBA, I've always won. And it doesn't matter which level you win on. If you're in a winning environment, that shit carries on throughout the rest of your life. My first year ever playing organized sports, I won a Little League football championship that year, and then backed it up with a basketball championship.
That's just crazy.
Undefeated season. My second year, we did the same thing.
It's funny. My first year in sports ever, I won a championship.
Things really go.
High school, I won 3 state championships.
Hey.
You know, like I
What?
was just always.
Why didn't you pursue these things?
Knew how to win?
I couldn't.
Was around. I knew it was supposed to be done, and
I could not do these.
7 years in Cleveland, I had some good years. Obviously, some great years.
That means that I was just on the team.
Able to take
I didn't do like any. I was a defensive player.
Had a moment.
I'll always say that. I was a defensive player. I had a jumper. I had a mid-range jumpy.
You look back.
I had a mid-ranger. It was pretty good. Had a pretty good 3-ball before that was like notified.
Good.
45 straight years.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but it got to the point that final season, I was like, I've maximized this potential.
Yeah.
I've squeezed all the juice out of this damn lemon here, and I know it. And in order for me to get to where I want to get to, I have to make a choice for my career going forward. And Miami was the best choice, you know, at that moment. I felt like it was the best choice for me. You know, the conversation I had with D Wade, had with Bosh, had with Udonis Haslam, you know, D Wade and UD had been there. They had won, had beat Dallas. They had been in some big you know, playoff matchups with Detroit, where Detroit beat them and then they beat Detroit, you know, and things of that nature. And then you look at the big 4 that Boston had. You know, everybody talk about the big 3. But everybody always decided that for some odd reason that Rondo was as great as Rondo was.
Yeah,
it's always just the big 3.
He's
not
from
me.
Boston.
Not me.
LeBron's
always saying
they say
that.
the big 3, but fucking Rondo was when he was a dog. He brought it all. He made it all work with those guys because Ray wasn't bringing the ball up. You had Ray flying around. You know, you had Paul when he get it at a certain spot, and Paul was a killer. And then you had KG was anchoring the defense, and also, you know, you throw it to the low post. But they all started with the mind, and that was with Rondo. So for me to go down to Miami, man, one, it was a terrifying experience for me. You got to think, I don't know a lot of people know, it's the first time I ever left my hometown. I was 25 years old. You got mad. My first 7 years, even though I played for Cleveland, I still lived in Akron. You know, so for 25 straight years, I was
awesome house. You had an awesome house. We've seen that.
Yeah.
That's a great house.
Yeah, so I'm comfortable. That is my comfort. My comfortability is being in Akron, Ohio. You know, I drive, you know, 30 minutes to Cleveland, play my games, and then I shoot right back down to Akron. And
That's actually peak.
For the first time, it's like I've always used the analogy, like I felt like this was my college moment. You know, I didn't go to college, so like going to Miami was my, you know, moment to basically get out the house with my parents. You know, I was going off to college, and I learned a lot, man. And shit, 2 championships, 4 finals appearances, you know, 2 more MVPs, you know, and things that I can always look back on and say it was a hell of an experience.
And you guys were the Heatles. You know, that was, you guys were selling out everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
for
while
sure.
we on that, you mentioned you didn't wait, and I forget which one of them it was, but they told a story about Pat Riley fucking with your cookie.
Yes.
Is that
That's
a true
real,
story?
yeah.
Is that a real story?
No, it's a true story.
Okay.
It's a true story. Now, like Rouse wasn't like Rouse was on the plane and I was about to get my cookies and Rouse snatched them out of my hand. You know how stories can become. They kind of build to Sasquatch at some point.
Yep.
But there it was. I mean, there was a time where everyone knows I fucking love chocolate chip cookies. It's like my
doesn't?
It's like my biggest vice.
Is it specific?
No, it was literally the plane that we were getting on. The ladies on the plane were making chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, homemade.
So they knew.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so they were making them and bringing them because we had the same ladies all the time. You know, it was a party of 6. You know, they were rotating every time. They knew I loved chocolate chip cookies, so they would get on. And I would. Hey,
soft
with a little crispy edge.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. And I would get on, and they already knew. They'd bring me 2 cookies, and I'll get the gambling with the guys, and I got my cookies, and we good. And then one flight I got on, I looked at them, and they looked at me, and I'm like, oh, that look didn't look familiar. I was like, it was like, no, we're not allowed to. No more cookies on these flights.
That's sick.
And we all know where it came from. I looked at D-Wade. D-Wade looked at me. He was like, basically, without even saying, he was like, fucking Rouse done it again. Rouse strikes again. I was like, damn. Like,
So what was it like down there? Because they talk about the Miami Heat culture and Pat Riley and it being, and obviously him just saying no more cookies.
Yeah, they be
it's LeBron's cookies. I don't give
he don't give a fuck. One thing about Rouse, he don't give a fuck about nothing. Listen, if it ain't about that heat shield and covering that heat culture, he don't. I mean, we see what's going on now. I mean, well, not anymore, but we see Jimmy and, and it was at one point where even I left and it was time for D-Wade to get paid and he didn't want to pay D-Wade and D-Wade left. I was like, oh, when that happened, I was like, when Wade County had to leave and go to Chicago, I looked at the cookie situation. I was like, oh shit, maybe it wasn't that bad. I was like, okay, fuck it. I mean, D-Wade's millions and my cookies, I was like, okay, maybe I made it out safe. I was like, okay, it wasn't that bad.
Let's talk about the cultures, because Cleveland, you talk about at the beginning of your career, feeling like you had to go to Miami. You obviously do that. You go back to Cleveland, win one. Hey,
man.
For hometown. That parade was bananas.
Yes, sir.
And then obviously out at LA, what is it about JJ Redick's culture that you have felt, experienced, and obviously a couple games have not won, but fourth in the West still on a playoff push. What is it about JJ Redick and his culture, or what you guys have right now that you like?
I think the best thing about JJ is that he's just a great podcaster.
Yeah, he is. He is. We learned a lot, brother. You guys were talking about like when fucking doubles here, then we round here, then we go under this.
He's just a podcaster that for some odd reason became a head coach and all because of me. It's just the weirdest thing in the world, and those conversations have died down. But no, I think one thing about
I know you are like on NBA Twitter, but when you first got JJ, niggas were crashing the fuck out.
He's one of those guys that.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because JJ, he had a podcast with Bron.
There's no such thing as sleeping.
And they got Bronny signed too, so they were like, "Oh, so Bron's not even trying to win. He's just trying to sign his son and get a fucking this season's gonna be a joke. They're not gonna win. They're not doing shit." Then they started winning games, and they shut the fuck up.
And I love it. And when I was a kid, I used
to start changing narrative.
Now I realize it. I hated Duke when I was growing up. And then when I got a little older and I started playing with Coach, I started matching up with Coach K. We played with I played with him for Team USA. And then I was like, okay, I see why he's great. I see why he's great. I see why I hated JJ Redick. I see why I hated Shane Battier. And then Shane came over to us in Miami and helped us win a championship. I was like, I see it. He's like the greatest guys / dickheads that you ever meet.
Is that all from Coach K? You think JJ has a lot of Coach K in?
Absolutely. He's just
dickhead.
And there's just some things that can't be explained, but when you got the it factor, it's just like, oh yeah,
So JJ had a podcast with him?
Yeah, so this offseason, they had this guy named Darvin Ham for the last 2 years, and he was a terrible fucking coach. And Bron started this podcast. Also, you remember I started about Stephen A. was fucking, pause real quick.
From the complete opposite.
Yeah, and then I don't know how that
remember when I was like, yeah, Stephen A's been crashing out? I'm about Bron. So Bron and JJ started a podcast last year, and it was actually like, it was really good for basketball niggas. Like, they were breaking down plays and really talking about like basketball knowledge versus a lot of basketball talk shows now are very, very just trying to be funny. It's just niggas hating, like Shaq just chooses to hate on somebody every week. Yeah, all that shit. So Stephen A got mad when they were in their podcast. They're like, you guys are ruining the podcast scene, or you're ruining like the basketball talks because you guys are actually talking basketball. You guys need to have some entertainment because blah, blah, blah. So he's getting pissed about that shit. And I'm like thinking, what the fuck? Like, they're talking basketball. How are you mad at that? So they basically made everybody pissed. And then he got signed to be their coach like 2-3 months later. And it was going to be another thing that people just hated Brown for. Just like everything else. But now he had the better record with JJ than he's had since he won a championship on the Lakers. He has not had this many wins on the Lakers since 2020.
That's insane.
It's fucking crazy. But I couldn't believe people didn't think he knew what he was talking about. Because JJ, he was in the NBA for like a pretty long time, and he's always been like a smart player. So I don't know. People thought he wasn't going to be a good coach. I'm like, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. People probably just wanted to hate because Stephen A was hating.
Hey, no, that too. For damn sure. Skip Bayless.
Yeah,
that nigga was crashing out yesterday too. I'm sure he's crashing out more because Bron didn't bring him up. He was talking about continue interview. I'll let you know what he said when it gets to a certain point.
I bet. 1 second. I'm saucing somebody up in rifles right now.
Are you good?
All right.
It works actually. Like science.
I'm on fucking Xenoblade right now.
But then he'll do one off the fucking Jumbotron. Yeah, here it is right here. Here it is right here. You've seen this, obviously, I assume.
Yeah,
yes.
I've seen
he
it.
probably does this type of stuff every single day. What has it been like being his teammate? And I think it was the first game. There was, you guys were calling it up or whatever, and you looked at Luka, and it was a big deal because you said, you don't change a damn thing. We'll change for you, actually, is what you said. And then, broke down. I think it was a big deal for people to hear you say, but also, obviously, Luka as well. What has it been like, and why do you guys have such good chemistry?
I mean, his name is Luka Magic for a reason, and you see that. You see his play on the game. He's a very transcendent player, and if you talk about that moment. You got to think. I can't put myself in his shoes because I've never been traded before, but I can have a sense as a human being to know you commit to a franchise for 7 years and you feel like, this is the place where I'm gonna be.
I don't know. I've never been fucking traded.
That shit is sick.
Miami, and then out of nowhere,
22 years, not a single time.
I don't give a damn where you're going. It doesn't matter who you're pairing with. That's a shock to your system. It's a shock to your system. And even though he was ready to play, that moment I felt like
I still can't believe they traded
that
Luka.
had to be said because he is.
And now all of their star players are hurt right now.
Yeah, nigga, they said they might have to start forfeiting games.
He has to fit out, and
wait, that ass?
Yes, I've never heard of that in the NBA before ever.
Because we need you to be.
It was just one after one.
But it's definitely. I lost
tailbone, broken hand,
duo with AD,
broken back,
miss him to death, and
damn,
meniscus tear, ACL fucking tear. Like, Diggy, that shit is sick.
Ball dominant, LeBron James too much of a prima donna.
Yeah, that's right.
Not gonna let Luka come in and do the Luka shit. And they won't be able to figure it out.
Yeah, it must be the idiots that don't know the game of basketball.
Oh, this is insane. I just saw your text message.
You.
Yeah, nah, the eating is crazy.
It really does.
It's every single day. And then you realize, you was like, I'll be looking at it and I hear it, I'll be like, those guys a lot of those guys that played the game or did not play the game, it was just they played the game while they were talented. I don't think they ever thought the game. I don't think they were ever smart. I just think they were bigger and stronger and maybe faster at the time, and they dominated. And when it was over, it was over. They don't. That's why I'm able to still play at fucking 40 years old.
Well, that's what everybody talks about.
Yeah, my mind is just like I can play the game because I can outthink the guys out there. And as my athleticism has went down a notch. Not a lot, but a notch.
A little fat too.
As my athleticism has went down a notch, like I'm able to still bring up other facets of my game to be able to still, do what I need to do every single night. But the talking heads of our sport, oh my goodness.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Especially for you. I mean, you're in a much different situation than maybe any other human in history of sports, if I had to guess. And like I said, at the beginning, it's a compliment, though. Like, they're immediately telling this teenager that we need to talk about him as if he is Michael Jordan, who obviously transcended the sport, changed the sport forever, and everything like that. But then it gets to the point where it's like, hey, this is a real conversation, and it almost immediately becomes divisive. Do you? So this is an interesting concept here. You probably lost a lot of trust in media, I would assume, because of the things that happened. Not just what was said on TV, but what it led other people to probably think they should say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, it all started with the decision. The decision really had me sit back and because people literally I give a moment. So the decision, it was brought to me to be able to, do something cool on TV, do a kind of college style. Like I said, never went to college. I was like, this would be pretty cool.
Put a hat on.
Make the decision, put the hat on, but also,
Miami.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
I was wondering if you knew what that meant.
He never got to do it.
Yeah.
And that makes so much sense to me. Because he got so much hate for it, and my only position from it was why. I only wanted to know the reason because I was like, to me, it doesn't matter.
No,
like, sure, you're the best. You're one of the best players in the league right now, but like, I was. Does it really matter where you go,
bro?
Like, I'm gonna watch you regardless. So
I just,
for him to just be like, yeah, it was because I never got to do it because I didn't go to fucking college.
Dude,
I'm just like, oh, easy.
That and like, I don't know, like people have that just, you have to be on the same team forever or you're just not shit. And to me, that's always been so stupid. Like, why would you not want yourself to be put in a better situation? Like at work, you don't work that job that pays you $12 for the rest of your fucking life. You probably want to find something better.
My first game back to
I just don't, like, people say Steph Curry's better because he's been on Golden State the whole time. Like, that makes him better? At least stayed on one team? What are we talking about?
People did not even really care or didn't even understand the situation. They just wanted to be a part of the nonsense. I hit the elevator to go downstairs to the bus, catch the bus, to go over to, I think it was the Q, the Quicken Loans Arena then. And the elevator opens, and it's two guys, random guys on the elevator. I don't know, you guys can always pull this up. They used to have these FUKLBJ t-shirts, black t-shirts, red letters. And I see the two guys, they see me, they say, oh my fucking God. Oh, no, listen, this is, man, we love you so much, man. Man, we're just here for the spectacle. Like, seriously, we love you, man, and have a good get. And the elevator door closed.
That's funny as fuck.
Like, oh,
those are two white dudes, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I didn't want to say that. Numbers right now.
Not wrong.
It was like, oh my God, man, we fucking love you, man. Like, oh shit, don't. And the elevator closed. I was like, you know what? This is all part of the spectacle, and it's about to get haywire.
So the decision, you think, is whenever the conversation kind of changed a little bit about you?
Yeah, because they just needed something. They needed something. Everything was so positive, and and I gave them no reason to make it negative.
Yeah, it wasn't fucking up.
But they needed anything. I'm doing everything I need to do on the court. I'm not out on the streets. I'm not being caught in all the bullshit that doesn't respect the game and respect my craft. It was like, oh, you decided to go on TV and make a decision for your career. Oh, we got you. We got it. We finally got it. We finally made a little chink in the armor.
We got something. It's selfish.
Oh, it's selfish. Yeah. You selfish mother. Yeah.
And then that caught a little bit of fire, right? Because a lot of people don't like seeing people that are successful in anything, especially if somebody is taking happiness from them and their team, which you were doing, obviously, with the Cavs. And then that just got, you're saying from that moment is when until, which leads obviously to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh, damn.
Yep. We're all seeing it. Oh, yeah. You're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, you would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, it's... And like he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players.
The edit I watched earlier that made me more sad than watching Rex actually die in the show.
To criticize or to
really?
Yeah, I was like, damn.
That is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell.
Are you talking about Stephen A right now?
When he's
yeah.
Oh my God!
He said he's on a Taylor Swift run right now.
Scream out of the
He's fucking cooking.
freezer and sit in his chair in his tidy whities on the couch.
I hope you at some point you two do get a chance. But you're right.
Dude, like relax, bro. Like relax. Just
How do you feel about the way the game is covered and you players are covered? Because this is a big topic of conversation with the NBA. We have Tyrese Halliburton, who comes through. We love Tyrese.
Oh, he's
the man.
Tyrese loves you too.
Tyrese is great. Love that guy.
So Tyrese gave me the heads up, like, hey, LeBron coming on your show is a massive ordeal because like everybody in the NBA like does look up to, like LeBron is our guy. Like I think Pat Beverly told the story down at the bubble whenever everybody was like, we need to take a stand and yada yada yada. And then I think he was the person who went up and said, hey, you, if you're fucking playing, we're all playing. If you're not playing, we're not playing. But I think that's how everybody in the league feels about you. So congrats on that, by the way.
Man,
respect amongst your peers.
No,
yeah,
for real.
sure.
To have the respect for my peers, that means a lot. And I carry that, man. And I take that with a lot of responsibility because there was too many years went by when players did not have an opportunity to just speak and their voices to be heard or allow the narrative to get so much outside of sports. Like if I miss a game winner or if I don't show up in the finals, like I was supposed to versus Dallas in year 1 in Miami, you can say whatever the fuck you want. I should have been a lot better, I know. But like don't take it to, my household or take it to what's going on and other guys. Like I seen something with Embiid where a reporter came into the locker room and started speaking about like I think his brother or something.
Yeah.
Like how weird is that? Like that's so weird. Like why are we taking it to that point? And we're taking it to that point because people have gotten too comfortable. I think people in the media have gotten too comfortable, especially with our sport. They got too comfortable where, back in the day, like for sure, you would never bring up Charles Oakley's brother.
Yeah.
Charles Oakley will smack you through his brother. All right? Yeah. Mad Max, like his name was Mad Max for a reason. It wasn't because he picked you up 94 feet. It was because if you said something about Mad Max, like he's gonna separate your jaw. And there was no repercussions from that. Like they got to the point where they knew like, oh, these guys can't really do anything to us anymore because they're fine, suspension, and
and don't embarrass the league.
Yeah, and don't embarrass the league, or you now here come your sponsors, they're coming after us or coming after you, and they're gonna be like, what are you doing? Like, that's when they decided they could, they thought.
So the conversation about old school basketball is a real thing, like because that's the new narrative now. Is like it's a nostalgia issue. Like a lot of people who grew up in a different era of basketball and get introduced to basketball, they're gonna like that era regardless of no matter what happens in the future. You've played through what now? 3 years?
Yeah.
3 years?
Yeah.
Back whenever Kuzi was doing no-look pass?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the first ever no-look pass? Yeah,
cool.
Kuzi.
Yep.
He's a dog.
Hey, he was an exciting white, wasn't he? He was an exciting white.
Sure.
He was
Who's
one of
that
the
guy?
An exciting white. That is so funny.
And I'll speak for you.
For that era.
Exactly. Thank you. Hey, you don't have to say this.
Yeah, for sure. No,
I'll say this.
Yeah, game for that.
I grew up in Pittsburgh, so we didn't have an NBA team. So I was more NHL guy, but I would watch the Lake Show at night because I couldn't sleep. So
right.
I did know the NBA, but not like I didn't follow it as closely. When I watched The Last Dance, I was watching a lot of highlights, and I was watching people dribble a ball like this.
Oh no!
I don't know how that works in modern basketball.
The old heads are not gonna like that one.
There was a Kuzi era of sports where a no-look pass, holy shit. Then there was an era where people were starting to get like nasty. There's some more.
Yeah, you had some Pistol Pete Maravich. He started coming in and started, getting a little bit nasty. But then the ball was hitting off guys' heads and stuff. So they looking at him like, what are you doing? Like,
never see those lowlights though. Only see the highlights. Highlights are the bangers survive. Then obviously Jordan comes in and transforms everything. Him dunking from the foul line, massive ordeal. They made a whole fucking brand off it. He's flying. Now kids are like dunking from the 3-point line in high school.
Dunking from the 3-point line.
But there is like a nostalgia.
Shit is crazy.
Modern era.
Niggas actually dunking from the 3-point line.
Not the three, but like him dunking from the free throw was so crazy. Hold on. Let me find this clip for you.
You look at the Hummer from the 1970s to the Hummer of today. It's like you're gonna be like, okay, you might be nostalgic about it. You loved it in the 70s, but do you really want to drive that every day, right now in 2025? You're gonna get out the car and your goddamn neck and your back is gonna be hurting so bad.
All right.
Like,
Pause that shit real quick.
Hurting so bad. You're gonna
I'll pull this up.
you know what? This might be just a Sunday chill car. Like I drive it up the street, get some ice cream.
When he was in college.
Let me finish this game real quick.
But,
I'm almost doing it. It's pretty much last stock. So
but. Shit, I'll pull up a second clip too. You got Zion in fucking college.
Nigga, what?
And actually done. You said go back?
Wait, yeah, don't. Oh my god.
Like,
Okay. You can just do that.
Bro, like he's just doing that. It's not like like Michael Jordan ran down the full court, did that shit. Then look at this shit. You got Zach LaVine. Run that shit back. He doing 360s for the free throw, bruh.
Who doing 360 for the free throw? Oh my god.
So it's like, it's definitely a nostalgia thing where it's just old niggas are just more athletic, more. And you got niggas talking about he's in G League. That shit don't even count for real.
He'd be great.
All right, bro.
Can't say to some of the guys.
Y'all pissing me off.
It is what it is. Respect that era and we move on. But
Literally,
every single day that he's better, he's not better. He wouldn't. You trying to tell me Giannis wouldn't be able to play an NBA game in the 70s?
Handshake. He wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, neither would you. Neither would you.
Giannis Antetokounmpo would have 250 points in a game in the 70s. 250.
Is that Koozie? When was Koozie?
You're not lying though.
at all, bro.
Giannis would cook the fuck out of them.
Bruh.
Like it's no disrespect, but like
Literally.
like Kyrie Irving.
They'd hang that nigga.
They would have called him a witch.
No, they would have told Kyrie, you're not. You know how they used to tell Lou Alcindor at the time that he
look at this bullshit.
Games? Yeah. They would have told Kyrie, you're not allowed to dribble anymore. That's what they would have told him.
Wait, who got told they couldn't dunk?
So how tall are you?
I'm 6'9".
I missed it.
How heavy are you?
I'm give or
they were telling somebody that. Oh, hold on, I'll rewind it in a minute.
Yeah, I missed the name.
Depends on if you give him my cookies or not.
Yeah, Pat Riley's like, we're tipping too close to 280. LeBron,
Everybody knows I love chocolate chip.
At the time that
he
games.
Oh, in high school, they told him he couldn't dunk.
Not allowed to dribble anymore. That's what they would have told him. Dribbling is out rude. They would have seen that.
That shit's so weak, Phil.
6'9".
And how heavy are you?
I'm give or take in between 215 to 280. I don't know. Depends on the day. Okay. Depends on if you give him my cookies or not.
Yeah, Pat Riley's like, we're tipping too close to 280. LeBron, the Heatles are becoming a heavyweight battle.
Yeah.
So 6'9".
Yeah.
Let's say you're two. You look very thin right now.
Yeah. I feel good.
So 215, 6'9".
He said I feel good.
Could easily get to 260 though. I think that would play in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, come on. I could play.
Just like
I would be able to play in any era. It's funny you hear some of them older guys like,
bro,
James couldn't play in this era.
That shit is cook up. Yeah. He's never commented on this.
Like Dennis Rodman said that one time. It was like, LeBron James not skilled enough.
Not skilled.
Not big enough. He's not. Nah, doesn't weigh enough. He's not strong enough.
Can't handle it.
Nah, yeah, I'm like, okay.
Okay, let's talk about you flopping all over the place. Yeah. That's why people get mad.
Yeah, I know.
Now, why do you do that? Patrick Mahomes does the same thing. He's the greatest of all time for us. In a conversation of the greatest of all time, the rules indicate that if you're to hit him, he gets 15.
No doubt.
Is that the same thing for you?
I wish, because I am like literally over like the last 5-6 years, why everybody's been claiming I flop all the time. I'm like in the bottom half of free throw attempts per game.
Oh, they won't give you the whistle.
You don't get the whistles.
You don't get the superstar treatment?
You know the funny thing is, I have a lot of teammates that be like, they come to the Lakers, and they be like, man, when I used to play against you, I used to think you got every goddamn call, and I hated it. And now that I'm your teammate, it's like, oh my goodness, you don't get any calls.
Hey.
Don't worry about it. Just Just keep playing.
No, I'll just wait till you see me in the third quarter. I got good flop coming. I practiced on this one last night because there's a video from the Last Dance where I think the ref says to Michael, Jordan, he goes, "I didn't see it, Michael. I am so sorry. I would never do it to you." And walks away. Yeah, I believe you, Michael. Yeah, that's the clip.
And they changed the call.
And Mike was like, oh,
wait, dead ass?
Yes, they asked him, and they changed the call.
You and Michael at a good spot.
Who, me and Michael?
Jordan?
Yeah, we're in a good spot. We don't talk.
Why not?
It's after this part that I was going to play something.
I'm still playing. I think I'm still playing. I'm still focused on my craft right now.
When you're done, you think you two will be the only two that can have a conversation?
I would hope so. You know, the funny thing is, me and Kobe, besides our, the late great Kobe, obviously, me and Kobe never had a real relationship either. Until we was on the Olympic team, we had a great relationship there. Olympic team 8, Olympic team 12. But it was always competitive between us. We were always like, I was on the East Coast, he was on the West Coast, and it was like, even though we never, I fucked up one time in 09 and didn't beat Orlando, and I think it was 09, didn't beat Orlando and didn't get him an opportunity to play him in the finals. But like, and until I became a Laker and then he retired, that's when our relationship like became really, really good. Yeah. He like welcomed me, called me like, bro, anything you need in LA, like, I got you. You're a Laker now. You family, and we would have multiple conversations. He was obviously, you guys saw him coming to a lot of games and things of that nature. And when I passed him in the scoring record in Philly, I think he had a tweet out there like, keep on going, like keep transcending the game, keep going. Like
he died the very next day, Finn.
So like, I think it's because I'm
no way.
The very next day, he congratulated him. At the second he passed Kobe, he died.
Personally, he's one of the most ruthless competitors there is, and till I'm done.
That's gotta be like bittersweet as fuck.
No, that shit's actually sick.
Oh my, like you can't say that. You can't tell people that like after that.
Man. And his last tweet being about you.
I'm on the back nine.
Keep the game going, brother. And then you fucking die.
That was dope. Yeah, that was dope. That's straight respect, admiration, and just like, me for sure. I mean, shit. Like I said, I wear 23 because of MJ. And that shit, the inspiration that he gave me as a kid in Akron, Ohio, that don't have much inspiration in your hometown. You look at something.
But that guy Skip Bayless after that Michael Jordan shit. He said that
a fresh person. Michael Jordan playing for the Bulls, Jay-Z, Biggie, and Tupac. That was like, that was my inspirations. You know what I'm saying? Like I needed that because I didn't have. Like
Lang,
couldn't be fucking Jerome Lang. He's like hating on me and shit. So like, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of on that note, Bronny, your son, he's obviously had that inspiration in the home, and you talked about it since years ago, wanting to play long enough to play with your son.
So hey, Bron, I see where you say you and Jordan don't talk, and hope that changes when you retire. It won't. You chose to wear 23.
Just an unbelievable.
You keep doing his pregame celebrations. He won't. Nope. He won't forget. He won't talk to you. Brother, who are you?
Towards King Griffey, and then see Junior over there right before the ball got to his glove, and he snatched it out the air and run back to the dugout, like laughing at his pops. Like that was a cool ass moment, and for that moment, that game, that home opener versus Minnesota, and then just over there and see Griffey Jr., man, the kid, and seeing his pops over there, and us getting that picture at half court, and then us going out on the floor and having that moment. Physically, I wasn't even there. I wasn't even there.
You're floating.
I'm floating, and I can only imagine where Bronny was. I don't know. We haven't even talked about it yet. At some point, we will, but I wasn't even there. Like I wasn't.
Xenoblades pissed me off right now, Finn.
At home, my body.
You said what's pissing you off?
Xenoblade. They keep wanting me to defeat these enemies, but it's level 60 just keeps running around. So it's like I start attacking them, but then it comes over and one-shots me.
Be able to speak it into existence for it to come to fruition.
I just want to do the side quest.
My wife and my daughter and my youngest son to be there.
Cycle.
Then they have
I started thinking about everything from what
fucking server admin waiting to beat my ass any single time.
A year before with his
he almost died?
His cardiac arrest, man.
That came out of nowhere, seemingly.
That came out of nowhere. It was a birth defect that
wow.
Practically, quite honestly, if he never played sports or he never like started to become, you know, strong and run fast and all those stuff, we probably would never have to worry about it.
Really?
That's sick.
Things of that nature. It was just something inside his heart that, you know, was just pounding at his heart and pounding at his lungs that unfortunately we had the incident. And thankfully, you know, a lot of these kids we've been seeing a lot lately in sports, not only in basketball, but in football.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we was able to catch it. And to all the families out there that haven't had the opportunity to catch their kids before it gets to the point where they're not here anymore. Like, to see that happen to Bronny and for him to be able to play that same year after that happened, you know, at USC, and then less than a year later be drafted by the Lakers, and then in that fall, we go out there together. So that's why I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like we walked in together, but I was not there.
That's a dad moment. That's really cool.
Yeah,
People forget, you know, you're only one name now, LeBron, but you're still a human too. And I assume seeing,
for sure.
you know, your baby boy,
Yeah.
you know, get a chance to experience his dream.
Man.
Then obviously that led to the thing with Stephen A. talking about him and how critical everybody has been of Bronny. And I think that's a pressure that a second generation star has on him.
Yeah, for
His
sure.
whole life he's had that. It feels like he is very... I mean, he's like a 55-year-old, it looks like, the way he kind of handles it all, and I think you've even said that as well.
Yeah.
But how about his development? We had Rich Paul on the day after the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Because there was a bunch of rumors about Rich Paul was telling teams, hey, you draft him, we'll send him to Australia. Like, there's a lot of those types of things happening. Allegedly, the Suns were involved. There was a chance they could get you, but he ends up with the Lakers with you.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a whole storm. Like, LeBron James is bullying, blah, 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 blah. Everything, the way it always goes.
Of course.
This guy's not good enough. This guy's not this. And he does start out a little bit rough, NBA-wise. But now, I mean, he just dropped 39 last night in the G League. I think he had like a double-double or something. He had his best game in the NBA last week. He's obviously getting better and better. You have to be loving every moment. And how proud of Bronny are you for what he's going through? And
listen, for me as a dad, it doesn't matter if he never scores, ever. For me as a dad, I'm just super proud of him, period, as a young man. For me, as a mentor and as a teammate of his, and that wants to see him thrive because I've seen the work he's put into the game, I am super proud of his development to where he is now. From the moment that, you know, he was drafted in June of 2025 to us being now in March of 2026, his development is skyrocketed. You know,
they giving him a twerking mode, so you know I'm about to be an asshole. Niggas gonna start twerking on niggas after you kill them. It's actually gonna be sick. Elite trolling.
And he
What's
told
poppin',
me that, you know, it took him, and he played basketball as well. And back then, when it happened to him in the early 2000s, they wasn't with going back to performing. It was like, if it happened, it's over with.
What does that roll the dice?
Like Blaze, why is he really throwing it back though?
Not enough data on it. It's like you have a cardiac arrest. It is over. We don't want this on our resume. They was not going back to perform the play. And he told me, he was like, man, I'm gonna be honest, it took me about 2.5 years to finally get back to just normalcy. Like my body, my mind, and you know, he said when it happened to me, I was 23 years old. Bronny was 19 years old, you know, and he's like, it's gonna take a little time, and I reason with that, but also he's doing things right now less than 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, and it's because of his determination and his will to want to get better and his will to like, I don't really care what y'all saying. I hear it. He did an article the other day. He was like, yeah, I hear the noise. I use that as motivation, but I also know what I'm capable of. And, you know, I've always told my kids, like all of them, you know, they all play sports. 2 basketball players. My youngest son going to Arizona. On a full ride. My daughter's
what is he, 7 foot tall, by the way? That came out of nowhere. Bryce, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's the extra strength from the 19 inches. Oh, buddy.
We see it all. And it's like Bronny, okay, and then Lil Bryce.
Yep.
Lil Bryce with the glasses.
Right, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, one video popped up of an
Nigga shot the fuck up.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
So he on his way to Arizona. My daughter's, you know, she's playing.
That shit's funny how that shit works.
Volleyball. She just turned 10. So, like, and I just tell him, like, it doesn't matter about the.
I'd be mad as fuck my little brother told me.
Like, if you love it, go out and practice. If you want to.
When I tell you that, like, I'm genuinely, like, okay with my height, same thing happened to me. I grew over a foot.
That shit would take care of
Damn.
it. So, super.
I remember, yeah. The growth spurt.
When you talk about the kids.
Yeah, I had a growth spurt in 1 year, and I just grew.
His game and where he is today, you know.
That probably was cool as fuck, bro.
Was like,
It felt cool because I was taller than my girlfriend.
Nah.
Shit, like you said last night, 30,
I was not taller than my girlfriend when we first started dating.
more than anything. When
Then one day he just went, hey, that's peak, bro.
And then one day I put my head on top of hers and she was like, wait a minute. She said, you don't look up when kissing me anymore.
Free throw. So, man, the kid is, he's
got that right.
He's been fun to watch. It is, and the story has gotten so loud. And I think
I always want to have a girl spirit.
Talking, you say you get long-winded about the kid. It's like, well,
you just always been the tall ass.
That happened a couple weeks ago. But like you playing with him, obviously was a dream. You said that years ago. Bryce now, though, I mean,
very possible.
That is.
But just randomly shooting up gotta just feel amazing.
Oh my goodness!
You're gonna have to stream some. You might have to in like 10 minutes. You're gonna stream some.
That conversation's
some Xenoblade till I get back.
Are you
watch rest of the review?
More.
But I gotta run out. I gotta run out to get our copies of Berserker.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna let it install, and then I'm gonna boot up my stream when it's done installing, so I can play it. Because it's like I hope it reignites my itch for single player games. Because my God, I have not wanted to touch a single player game in a long time.
It is not interesting right now.
I've done this for a long time.
Are you just not interesting right now?
Like, okay, now
I just haven't been interested. Like Metaphor is sitting right there. Assassin's Creed sitting right there.
You got a bunch of long ass games too, though.
I got a lot of games.
So I understand that. So.
I mean, but I feel like Berserker will be what I need to at least feel
if I could
that thing. Because I just recently, I just really want to just play games with my friends.
Like
I feel like
I am all about the process.
You gonna have rivals?
Recently, I've been all about my friends.
I don't feel like showing up to the arena 5 hours.
Turning the sword.
Or I don't feel like or.
All right, I'll be right back.
Like studying the scout sheet of guys. Like if it gets to that,
you can pause it interview.
No, like you know what, Brian?
No, I'm not leaving yet.
You'll be able to tell.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell.
Yeah, you will be personally. Yeah. 5 hours before the game, you're showing up every day.
Yeah, 7:30 game. I'm usually there around 2:15.
What do we got? We got a cold tub. We're drinking some, putting some wine on our feet. Sure. What are we doing?
We're doing a little bit of everything for sure. I'm some wine, drink a little wine too.
Oh, I saw you walk into the game. Remember the big booze bag?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, guy was walking with the wine to the game. Yeah, I remember that. Mailed it in. LeBron's quitting. Showing up drunk. Everything you do is talked about.
Yeah, I had one former Laker. I wasn't even playing. It was preseason. I had worked out before the game. I wasn't playing in like a former Laker. I was on the bench, like, eating fruit. Like, I worked out. I had, I got a shower. Let me get out here to watch the guys, support the guys during a preseason game. It was like year fucking 20 for me, probably. Why am I even going out here for a preseason game? But I'm a good guy, and I love my teammates, and I'm a good teammate. So I go out there, and the next day I wake up as a fucking Laker guy to play for the Lakers. I know you guys are going to look this up. It's like, look this up. Like, that's very selfish, LeBron. Why is he over there eating fruit? What are you doing? Or he could have had that at home.
Why are they on his ass?
Bro, I'm literally just trying to.
Okay, I'm free. Goddamn, long ass ass.
Everything I just lost in my workout in the weight room and in the bag that you didn't see, but you worried about me about a damn bowl of fruit.
Everything.
You're not being committed is the conversation. That is LeBron James. This guy's not committed. Not committed.
Like I had a steak and eggs over there or some shit. Like
something to think about.
That might be next. Give him something to really think about.
Yeah, a little protein in there. Connor, massive Boston Celtics fan, has a question for you.
Yeah. Who's Boston Celtics fan? Try and get if you can. Who knows? This might not be the year, but looking at the league and looking forward, the big convo is once LeBron is gone, who's the face of the league? Everyone's talking about the face of the league. As a Celtics fan, of course, I say like, why doesn't Jason Tatum get more love? But even talking about the future, when for you did you become the face of the league? Like what year was it? Obviously, right away you're getting talked about as.
Now they wilding for that one. That's true. Like I just didn't think they would put that in there. Like it just kind of seemed like it wasn't a serious game, but it seemed more serious.
Never like woke up like.
And then something like Fortnite. I'm not hating on it though. That shit cool.
I'm the face of the league. God damn it.
I'm not mad at it.
I did know there was a responsibility.
Another got some dumb shit. Rocket ult with Mantis, damage boost, one taps everything.
Like before I entered the league,
right
after
I've been watching like some tournaments and shit.
We came back.
I think it's called Rival Rumble, some bullshit. And every single time they have Namor Luna, and they do Luna ult damage boost with Namor's fucking whale, and that shit be one-shotting
players or you know, a lot of guys was, you know, didn't really care, you know, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like
the game's like very, very fun to play, but I don't know if it's like, I don't know. At least watching it competitively has not been as interesting to me.
Play was going to take care of itself because I knew how much I committed to it, but also had to.
You talking about watching Rivals competitively?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that shit is not
showing
it's not exciting to me
in the sense of like a modern citizen, you know, being a role model.
Plus, I feel like a lot of people run the same shit.
Is that is it due to what does it do to though? Like,
characters. I don't say it's lack of characters. It's just a lot of corny shit to me. I really don't like the. I feel like I see Namor or Bucky every game, and the Bucky just plays for fucking pull. He just plays for Roadhog hook, and then the second you hook somebody, you just absolutely shit on them. They see group walls and everything and fucking else.
So like, I never went out to be like, I want to be a face of the league. Like,
I don't know.
You know, I seen
it's like an obstacle course.
Like I seen Brian Windhurst on one of these shows not too long ago. Like,
yeah, you played
Lindy, you guys played together in high school.
Yeah,
right? He was on your high school
this
team.
guy was like, you know, says he's like my fucking best friend. These guys are just weird, but you know, like,
oh nah,
Forcer, huh?
The edit is crazy.
He went on his show and said, you know, like,
I mean,
LeBron to fool you.
There's this part. You can go back.
Oh, right there.
Yeah. This nigga's been saying LeBron has been his like best friend for the last like 20 years.
You know, like, oh, don't let LeBron fool you. Like, he wears number 23 because of Michael Jordan. Okay, that's a fact. He signed with Nike because of Michael Jordan. It's like, no, the fuck I didn't. I signed with Nike because I got a hell of a signing bonus, and they gave me a 7-year, $90 million contract.
Yeah, he made dumb ass money.
Out of the hood the next day I signed that contract. Like, and ultimately, my whole thing is like, what do I want to wear off the court? It's like, I want to wear fucking Nikes. Like, I want to wear Jordans. I want to wear pennies. I want to wear Bo Jacksons. I want to wear Air Maxes. I want to wear like.
Bros are chaotic. Either nothing dies, everything explodes.
What are we talking about?
No, you're not lying.
I knew that.
And it's like it's super chaotic, but I don't know. There just might not be a character yet that I'm really excited to see.
You know,
like in Overwatch, watching the Tracer Ditto would normally be so cold. Because when you have a Tracer that do not miss a single shot, perfect tracking, like it. I don't know. It's probably just character preferences for me, at least.
Keep LeBron home.
I don't like seeing Namor.
Going to the Knicks.
Namor upsets me.
Rolls to the Bulls. Like, I understand the assignment, guys.
It'd be like if Torb was fucking top DPS in Overwatch. You just don't be doing that much to get as much value.
Be a fuck up. I just didn't want to be a fuck up.
Namor's out here shitting on people in competitive. And they run the Luna Snow team up.
Be a fuck up. So
yeah,
that's what came with it.
You've done a great job representing it all. Do you feel like we are at a phase though? And you talked about before you got in the
like
there was like
it becomes a thing where it's like everything's unbalanced. So like chaos matches chaos.
Yeah.
I don't want to say back half of this season.
But now it's one of those things where supports run the meta.
Dude.
Right, because if you have a support up the counter, you're chilling. But now Magneto is it because he can one shot that.
And also, we're getting closer to playoffs. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's a long ass season, man.
And I will say, and this is more so just the pacing. Definitely, it's more. You win games off ults more in Rivals than in Overwatch because you know a lot of ults are fucking dog ass in Overwatch. Comparatively,
they need to. That's what they need to do. They need to make the ults dog ass. I'm so serious.
Hey, go.
Because it would make Rockets useful.
So you like, you know, the excitement. You know,
it would make Mantis useful.
You know, we're just
it's like, damn,
6 games in 8 days.
I gotta run a defensible because this one DPS ult can really cook our entire team.
Right.
The playoffs is on its way. The weather is getting better. The excitement is getting,
it's so dope.
You know,
I love Venom. I love talking people with him. Good.
You know,
I fuck with Venom.
5 teams, 1 or 2 games from behind each other. You know, so I think that's the
connection. Watch it, Andrew. You Venom player and holy hell, he got Ninja and Tim to surrender. That's sick.
No. I don't follow.
I think what makes Rebels also another game for Pro Circuit is that there's a lot of educate what's going on, what's on my screen. Yeah, but I will also say that was a big thing in Overwatch when it was 6v6 as well. Because back then, you know, there was 4 tanks. and there would be like, Rissa had a shield, so like he'd have a Rissa shield. God forbid we talk about goats where there's 3 tanks. So you have like fucking Reinhardt, you might have fucking Zarya, you got hella Bubbles, then you got another shield tank in there. Then you got like Babs at his fucking window. So then you got Sim on your team. So you have a giant shield through the entire point. Then you have Reinhardt with his shield up. Then you got Arista behind him with his shield up. Then you got the Bap window. So they're shooting the fucking amplifier. And that's not even like, that's only 2 ults. Then you got, I just think 6v6 hero shooter is always going to be chaotic.
It's long. It's so. I don't want to watch 1/2. Yeah, it's too long.
But it definitely is a lot.
And then they got to stack.
Even when you know what's going on, it's still a fucking lot to watch.
I think the 4 quarters kind of helps TV as well.
It does. It does, and it helps the players too. Like it's 4 quarters, and
I feel like I would fuck with it more if I was watching from a player's perspective.
He's sitting over there for
like I just watched my favorite streamer in a tournament. I'd be more interested than just watching the entire team.
See your favorite player in college.
Goats, Ryan's our Diva. They talk about Ryan from Monkey. They want to die. They couldn't fit. Goes because she's too slow.
Do you feel like this next generation? Because Wemby is obviously.
Oh, he's a stud.
He's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
But this is, I mean, Joker is also what 6'11", whatever it is.
Literally
KD
6'11".
says he's not 7 foot. Feels like he is.
And then he's always taller than everybody else. Also, photos for some odd reason.
I was gonna say maybe there are some people that like Ghosts, but I don't know. I feel like the majority definitely were not very interested.
Multifaceted player is the next generation, right?
Yeah, that's their inspiration. Their inspiration is, Dirk. Their inspiration is KD. Their inspiration are those guys who, like, you look at KD, 6'9" to 7 foot, depending on what he wants to tell you. That great handle.
I gotta find one of those pictures actually.
Able to, shoot off the dribble and also be able to catch and shoot and be able to look silky smooth.
There's no check for triple support.
They're doing koozies.
I mean, I'm glad that they nerfed it a little bit, but I don't know. They didn't want to kill it completely. At least that's what they were talking about.
Oh, you have. What you said?
So Chet has
about them nerfing triple support, but it's still getting played a bit.
I don't know if you heard about him saying, "Give me the fucking ball."
Yeah, I'm from Baltimore.
You can take how long is because you don't it doesn't stop the fact that
Carmelo Anthony, so I get it.
3 people are still healing.
Man,
and he wanted the ball.
That being said, you did nerf it in the sense that you can take them out.
Wherever you give an
it just drags out the fight.
I'm from Baltimore. Everybody's like, oh, okay.
Especially if the team isn't coordinated enough to understand that they're running triple support and that they need to dive to support first.
You could play another 10 years if you really
pick the weakest support that doesn't have a lot of cooldowns.
Yeah, but as you've gotten older, I mean, you have all this other shit off the court. You have
like Luna Snow. You want to target somebody like Luna Snow first.
All that kind of stuff that you're doing all these different business.
She has one line of defense, and that is
focusing on a lot
freeze
of stuff and not letting everything you have to do basketball wise kind of suffer. Because I mean, you don't seem like the kind of guy where it's like you're gonna start a production studio and just be like, fuck it, you guys handle everything. I'll attach my name to it. But like, how difficult is that balancing those two? Because this is obviously some stuff that you seem like you're passionate about.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely got some great people in place. My right hand man, Maverick Carter.
Yeah, this fucking picture, unbelievable. This thumbnail is all I think of when I think of Goats. Where is it?
The greatest thing about
I don't know if you can see my screen.
To,
I'm looking at your screen.
That last long. And we've never been just one-off guys. Like, we want to be able to create partnerships, and not like endorsement deals. Like, that was the thing of the past.
Can you see that thumbnail?
That we didn't want to do. So the trust that
my God,
I allow him because of.
But I just, like I said, that's just hero shooters with that being 6v6, bro. You just it's gonna be some bullshit.
Type of trust.
I just hope Rivals hits its stride.
But also,
I think it's very, very fun. Just competitively, they haven't hit that peak yet, in my opinion.
This is why I feel it would be.
I'm excited for season 2 though.
But ultimately, like, do you want to do it or not? So like,
just worried, just hope and pray. They mentally cook.
Got to the point where
that and your fucking mag. Hopefully, they can hit their goddamn hole.
The podcast Mind the Game with JJ. Last year it was like there was a looseness of the sport being covered. And how
I also think that a lot of the easier characters being really good is always a bad thing.
Of basketball, of why I fell in love with the game, why I teach the younger generation the game, why I am in the position, that I am in, and we have that conversation. Me and Matt was like, okay.
You hear me?
And he goes, "Shit, I bet."
The hell? Why my shit just turned off, bro? The fuck?
It's off on your screen?
You there?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why my shit just turned the fuck up.
You know, and when
I was
you
like,
running back
actually-
like 4. We're running back like 5 minutes.
Queen kid, 6'10".
Yeah.
6'10". He's in the. I don't know if you heard about him saying, "Give me the motherfucking ball."
Yeah, I'm from Baltimore.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic.
I'm from Baltimore. One of my best friends from Baltimore, Carmelo Anthony. So I get it. I get it. Give me the damn ball, and he wanted the ball.
That's what I told him in the conversation. I was like, Baltimore is one of the cities where if you give an answer on why are you a confident human, I'm from Baltimore. Everybody's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. There's no follow-up question to that. Oh, okay, got it. I got it.
Ty has a question for you.
So obviously you could play another 10 years if you really wanted to. I mean, it really does seem like that. But as you've gotten older, I mean, you have all this other shit off the court. You have the production studio, the podcast, all that kind of stuff that you're doing, all these different business ventures. How hard is it focusing on a lot of that stuff and not letting everything you have to do basketball-wise kind of suffer? Because I mean, you don't seem like the kind of guy where it's like you're going to start a production studio and just be like, fuck it, you guys handle everything. You know, I'll attach my name to it. But, like, how difficult is that balancing those two? Because this is obviously some stuff that you seem like you're passionate about and you want to pursue.
For sure. I definitely got some great people in place. You know, my right-hand man, Maverick Carter, he's unbelievable at what he does. Huh? He's a dog. And the greatest thing about him is his ability to, you know, create relationships that last. And we've never been just one-off guys.
Yeah, you missed probably the craziest brown art,
you know, and not like
I've seen.
Deals. Like that was like a thing of the past. That was
you were on this interview and started finally talking spicy about some of these people that have been
him because
in my opinion,
I've been knowing him my whole life.
Deserved it for a long time.
That type of chemistry and your brotherhood and that type of trust, you allow him to do it. But also, he's always checking in with me like, hey, listen, this is what we have going down the pipeline, yay or nay.
Spicy, you say? Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the Stephen A shit, but he was talking about it. Brian put his hands on him, that he would have knocked that nigga out. Then today, he said LeBron didn't even go to Kobe's memorial, which is not true. He's literally got Twitter, what's that bullshit called? Community notes popped up and said, actually, he was fucking there, dumbass.
Of the sport being
so niggas been crashing out.
Sport should be covered. It had got away.
And it's been very, very funny.
The game of basketball, of why I fell in love with the game, why I teach the younger generation the game, why I am in the position, you know, that I am in, and we have that conversation. Me and Matt was like, okay, I got what you're saying. Okay, let me go figure it out, and he goes to figure it out. So.
I learned so much from that show.
And then when he said that, yeah,
looking back on it, it was just you.
I would have swung on him. Literally, I've seen everybody and their goddamn mother fucking crying, laughing about it.
After that show, regardless.
Did you see what he said to clear it up?
The way you guys
he said what?
about it.
Did you see what he said about clearing that up?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, we got out of context. And then somebody was like, bro, that's your entire job. It doesn't feel so good when it happens to you now, does it?
Cook up.
Why you do this and debating on how to cover and all that. I felt like I got smarter as a basketball fan. So first of all, I'd like to thank you for that alongside JJ. That. And also congratulations, season 2, Mind the Game.
Season 2.
Wow, it's back.
Podcast coming back.
I'm gonna clap on that.
Oh, is it? I'm gonna watch it.
Season 2.
It's with Steve Nash.
And
Steve Nash.
LeBron and Steve
Yeah.
I've been a coach before.
Oh, shit.
And obviously he's played a long time in the NBA. Yes. I had one chance to interview Steve.
Hell yeah.
About there, jacket, man. I don't even hate, bro.
He played.
And it's like, if you don't fuck with him like for sports related reasons, I understand that. But I don't know. I feel like the people that get upset that his son's in the NBA are very strange to me.
Holy shit, man. Yeah. I literally learned it in real time.
He's taking so many spots from so many people, yet they can't name me one person who deserves to be in there that isn't there.
Potentially be a great fit for season 2 of Mind the Game.
No, absolutely.
No,
nepotism for thee, not for me.
Like, bro.
We're gonna get a couple more.
Why are you like?
We're gonna just like continue.
I don't know. Hey, you're mad because your dad's a bum. But like, thinking, why would I ever get upset about this?
You know how it's supposed to be viewed.
I just don't care.
You know, we understand that. You know, some of the
basketball is very political. I know players that are literally cook NBA players, bro, and do not have a single chance in the league.
In the first place, while me and
it's a lot of politics. You know, you don't just get in just because you're good.
This is how we grew up loving the game.
There's a lot of shit going on, so I don't know. I'm not gonna crash the fuck out over one roster spot that's the 55th fucking pick.
But the generation that's gonna.
No, it's one of those things because it's like you can't get in because you're good. Like he didn't steal a spot from anybody that deserved it or nothing like that. Because like you could take somebody like me and just be like, yeah, if I had training all of my life, but I'm just good defensively. I'm good, but I'm not like NBA good. So like, what are you talking about? it could be so many good people, but that nigga's extraordinary. What are we talking about? And he is extraordinary.
And he made it off a lot of potential too.
That was easy.
Like
That was easy. That was
obviously his college stats and shit like that aren't crazy. I feel like actually he's done better in G League than he's done anywhere else. Like he had 40 points the other night. Then he played against the fucking Bucks when Brown was out, had 20 points shooting 70% from the field. I don't know the last 55th pick that had 20 points shooting 70% from the field and had fucking Giannis on skates. And Giannis had to follow these shit out of Bronny so he wouldn't end up on the ESPN top 10. And then nigga fucking sliding. Nigga almost fell and grabbed the fuck out of his arm and pulled him down.
That's when you hear everything. You start hearing about the best MC that's going.
Said I was about to have him was top 10.
Bro, he saw it. I understood. I would have followed him too.
You know, your music is everything.
Drama.
Everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing goes on in a barbershop. So, you know, for us to be able to create that platform, the shop, to be able to bring on all the beautiful minds that we've brought onto the shop, men and women, it's been a pleasure, it's been an honor, and we're keeping that thing going, man, because it's like it's a comfort place. I went to the barbershop from when I was like 5 all the way through high school, and you know, to be able to have that sense of like truth. It's the one place of truth where you can go out there and be like, this is who I like. All right, that's who you like, and we're going to fight to the battle about it. You know, and it'd be a new topic the next day. And, you know, I think it's pretty cool.
You guys did a couple watch-alongs, too, for Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, man. Oh, that was dope. I mean, you guys know my love for the sport of football. So to be able to do that.
You wouldn't be able to take a shot, though, remember?
Yeah, couldn't play.
Yeah, 6'9", 250 pounds.
Bro, this narrative too.
You know, I wouldn't be allowed to do a lot of things, they say. You know? Oh, I got my little high school highlights up there. It was Benedictine. That's where Rich Paul went to high school, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. I was playing against Rich Paul High School there.
One of the greatest American hustlers of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Legit,
for
I think.
Sure.
I also played football.
Rich Paul may be one of the greatest
Nigga did
hustlers
everything.
of all time. You're from Ohio, so obviously.
Man, it's really the GOAT.
Yeah, man.
Obviously,
Me? No.
You love the game. I think you like. You've talked openly.
The problem with that was,
ball.
as far as that goes, is my mom.
Man, my first.
I was small, so my mom didn't think I was like tough enough to do it.
Deion Sanders fan, big time Eric Metcalf fan too. Growing up in that.
Yeah, essentially, when I turned 17 and got control of my life, it became good.
Seeing
I
Eric
understand.
up there too, man.
I started to do the things that I wanted to do and not live for other people. It became crazy.
And you know, just grew up just always loving the sport, man. Like, you know, seeing you know Jerry Rice and seeing some of the old clips of like Walter.
No, for real, why can't you like separate? They separated 4 to 5 minutes.
Topic of conversation in like the barbershop. Barry Sanders versus Emmett Smith.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Like, why do you have to be touching me? Why can't you just be content in the same room?
You know, I remember my mom buying me a pair of Barry Sanders sneakers. You know, I was like, oh man.
Shit, nigga, I remember my first Marbury's.
Elusive as shit.
You know, they was like.
Who was your first super shoe?
Obviously, I don't know that for a fact, but like seeing Barry Sanders on turf. Sneakers, you know.
Did you have any super shoes?
Remember, I didn't buy shoes myself, so it was really just what people gave me. They're probably some. Actually, low-key might have been some Steph's.
Seeing Saquon like out there, and I got
damn, you youngin.
Saquon did that move where he like turned.
Dude, Steph didn't get into the league until I was in college, nigga.
Like he had my kicks.
Wait, no, it was before. It was.
Oh, I didn't know those were yours. They were sick.
What's that?
How long been in the league?
He had
Steph Curry? What?
Yeah, he's been in the league since what?
16 years or something.
Spin move nasty.
What time did he get? When did he get to the league?
Goodness.
Well, I said about what 16 years.
Like super.
Actually,
2009.
I didn't even know that.
I love it.
Okay, let's talk about something else that we have to address. The Olympics. You saw your eyes.
15 years.
What was that?
15 years. So he's been, yeah.
What was that? What the fuck was?
So pretty much since my sophomore year in college.
Is that always happened? Your eyes?
I'm sorry, high school.
Just at the Olympics.
Because that was like my freshman, maybe sophomore year.
No, that was freshman year of high school actually for me. Because Roger graduated in 2010.
You know, he got to turn into that beast of his.
I don't remember what year. It was probably like 2015, 2016. I didn't really get.
2010 was the year the Miami one, right?
You also saw it and thought the same thing everybody else did. Okay.
Yeah, there was people like
2010.
Yeah, 2010 was the year Miami won, right?
And he may be at his home in California at the same time.
I don't want to say something wrong.
That's not human.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah. That was a real conversation that was happening.
Oh yeah.
And I watched.
It was Miami versus Mavs, right?
Hold on.
Nah, they lost.
I mean, I can't.
Oh, they lost, but they did play them that year. Or they did go. Okay, my mom went to one of the games
We'll just leave it at that.
that year. That's how. That's the only reason why I remember that.
Okay, when you think about the rest of the season, and you think about this Lakers team, you guys will have success.
Lakers? No, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, 2010 to 2011 was Dallas, and then 2010 was Lakers.
Okay.
Health. That's the most important for our team. We are not in a position where we can afford anybody to go down. And then after that, Luka, myself, and AR-15, we got to be all clear at the same time.
That name is so cool.
You know, and we know there's going to be games.
Who's AR-15?
You know, that happens throughout.
Austin Reeves.
Where,
Austin Reeves. Oh, is he number 15?
Shots or whatever, or AR.
That's clean.
Might not be making the shots, but as far when I say clicking, we have to be in tune on what we got to do every single night because we got to make sure everybody's in the right place every single game. You know, the playoffs is literally one possession to have you losing a series. You know, one possession can make you lose a series, and it's up to us three. You know, obviously I know my voice and what I command out of guys, that's going to be heard. Luka's play, some people lead by example, and the way AR, his affections play, we have to make sure we have everybody in tune, and because we know that our coaching staff going to give us the game plan.
That nigga Reeves.
Bro.
Wild goose chase. Nope.
He be cooking.
He and his
The fact that he's undrafted is so funny.
What we need to do in order to get the job done, and then it's up to us to go get it done.
You guys are gonna mind the game.
Yeah, right.
You guys are gonna mind the game.
Always do.
Plug.
Season 2, Steve.
Season 2.
Available soon. Hey, we can't thank you enough for stopping
No, I
by.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, dude.
Great
Legitimately.
conversation, man. I
You're
appreciate
awesome.
you boys over there, man.
Nah, that shit was cool.
Snapping after, I feel like I missed it.
Yeah, when I found out you was a Celtic fan, I thought you were gonna throw a beer on me. Like what happened?
What
is that? Is that what's the
Yeah, after I went for 45 in there, you know, that threw a beer on me on
Yeah,
the
the
way
Heat.
out.
I mean, if you're still in the Heat, that's still a problem. But I also do have one kind of mythological, whatever the word is, question. You don't read those fucking books before the game. Right? All those books.
Yeah, we
you
didn't talk
open it,
about
you
that,
open
you're
it
right.
to the first page, and then you don't read those fucking books ever.
Have you seen any of those images?
Listen.
No. Oh, of him like reading those books.
Yes, the first page.
Yeah.
It's always the first
You
page.
say you read it.
This is how.
That's the art of winning.
Someone take a photo.
All right, take the photo, please. Pat, take the photo.
Yeah, we got it. I'll take it from this angle.
You probably read Rich's book.
We got her.
The first page.
Wow, holy shit. Braun read it.
And then that's it.
That's it. I didn't even talk to you guys this whole time I was up here. All I did was read the whole book.
Meteor Man.
That's it. Meteor Man.
Everybody might not know that movie, but
it's a classic, by the way. It's a classic.
So you get talk about the books, music. Music's another thing. See the future of music.
Yeah.
acting.
Acting. Yeah, everything.
Who's next in the music world if you had to give a prediction?
Wow.
Yeah, because we've heard you say, when I heard this guy, I knew.
You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question. I literally go to when it comes to like the new generation now, this is the best thing about having teenagers as well. You can literally go to them and get the whole like
the scoop.
Yeah, the scoop.
That's my mom when she goes back to
I don't
school.
know, man. I don't know who's next up, but I do love music though.
She was telling
I'm definitely gonna listen to it.
when the Drake and Kendrick shit was going on, and I was telling her everything that was going on. And they're like,
I'm old
how do you know?
But we'll see.
Music and sports go hand in hand. So much.
No, for sure.
And
No question about it.
your knowledge of it has certainly been something that people have chatted about.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, you mind the music as well.
That's right.
And you mind the books. Do you mind the game?
Mind the tacos.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tuesdays
we got it
only
all.
on
Mind the movies.
Yeah, you mind the
As
movie?
long as they don't take
Damn, that pickup bundle's supposed to be $3.
Pat Riley said, fuck the cookies.
For my
The
Robins?
Heroes are done.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that skin token? What is
This
that?
guy doesn't have any fucking cookies.
It's supposed to just be apparently for any costume that you want.
That's crazy.
People are saying the D-Wade curse statue
They cooked.
is now carrying on
It's a
forever.
bad statue.
I haven't seen it yet. Oh, well, in person.
You don't want to.
I've seen it. I've seen it on. Yeah,
Not
I love my guy.
Hey, when you get your statue done, just let's make sure it's a good one.
Yeah, check
Because
it
there's-
before.
there's
I'm not
some
going to unveil
ass
it to the
ones.
world.
What do you mean?
Got to.
That's what a fucking statue is.
No.
You're gonna put it in your bed?
If I need
W
to
bundle?
see it,
Yeah, $3 to get any skin you want. Yeah, peak.
yes.
Because if not, that'll happen.
Yeah. What the hell?
I mean, Wade saw his, he says.
Have you seen that
I
statue?
think he was just sticking up.
Yes, I saw it. I mean, shit. It's D-Wade.
Anyway. That shit is so sick. They don't fuck with bro.
So did you see the Doomsday stuff? The Avengers Doomsday?
Yeah, like the casting shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas were very upset that Spider-Man's not in it.
Oh, they did the full cast now?
Yeah, the whole cast is out. If I'm not mistaken.
I mean,
Spider-Man is not in it.
There's 2 Avengers movies.
Okay. Everyone seems to forget what happened in the last Spider-Man movie.
Just everything got erased.
Yes, no one knows who the fuck he is.
No, you're not lying, but
no one knows who the fuck bro is.
I really hope they don't just revert that shit, because I'm pretty sure they already cast Zendaya for the new Spider-Man movie.
I mean, there's gonna probably be a way. Oh god, that actually is ugly as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. They don't fuck with her.
Yeah. Let me finish that interview. We want that interview. I'm gonna go grab my food.
But
I remember that moment. Yeah.
it's so ugly. No, genuinely, just an awful goddamn statue.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And like I said, all they had to do was just say you don't fuck with me.
I'm coming for y'all, man.
That's all they had to do.
I'm coming for y'all, man. I'm coming for y'all, man.
Yeah, we're snapping.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man.
You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James. All right,
LeBron. That shit was cool. That shit